And so anytime you hear this theme song, I guess you are reminded that this is a bumper show, right? And if you don't know, then it is a bumper show on ELBC Radio. The frequency is 99.9 and all frequencies across Liberia. Radio Sakwain, that's Nima Radio way in Sanakoli, relays a bumper show. Radio Diampilo is in Foya also relays it. Radio Makona also in Lofa, Foya District covers this program. And other radio stations across Liberia. You cannot afford to leave this program because the best is yet to come. For the next 1 hour, there will be a monologue where you will have the time to speak on national issues when I open the line for you. On the flip side of 5 o'clock, we look at the budget performance. This is making strides. It is making efforts, serious efforts. And to ensure that the budget performs well and all hands are on deck and we are on the right trajectory as a government. What are the indicators? I listened to the Deputy Minister of Finance, Augustus Flomo, when he spoke at the IMF program in the United States of America. He spoke of so many issues and so many positive developments of the government. But after making his presentation, we want to know from the Liberian government, the state actors, where are we? So hopefully at 5 o'clock, we will get one of the talkers who will come and tell us what are the indicators. Let me say happy July 26th to everybody in Liberia. Today is the 18th day of the month. And I was speaking to some Liberians and said, hey, we're getting salary now. July come, we will not get salary on the 18th. Oh yes. And thanks to Minister Samuel and his team for keeping the wheel turning as we go to July 26th. But these are few of the talking points we'll be talking about this afternoon. The Liberian Legislative Corporation turns over to the Liberian government for the foreign management team. I listened to the Minister of Finance as saying anyone or government officials who gets involved with power theft issue will be out of the government. Oh yes, he said that very strongly. And President Weah is keen on the issue of restoration of power to everybody. Anyone who steals power or who steals current, your days are numbered. That's what Minister Sementua said when he relayed the message to the people of Liberia for the President Begugbe. Oh yeah, it's successful. Retreat in Nima County, you know, one of the areas where I was so excited was the visitation of the president to the barn area and the other parts in Nima County. Ending up in Santa College that evening where the people turned out in their numbers to welcome the Chief Executive President George Manawia, barn citizen. There are people of surrounding villages around. They all turned chiefs and elders. And I entered Santa College that evening and I saw the representative of Santa College District, Prince Topa. The man was leading motorcyclists in their numbers, while women were drumming and singing at his home. And 3 children and I joined in a dance, with dance and dance to the prosperity of the government and all the wishes of Liberians. It was a very good sight to see, right? Oh. And so Summer George and Depending Young were also on the team that day. We had a good time. And I will end with this one. You know, I was listening to the issue about the 30K being taken by some lawmakers. And Akara's Gray comes and points accusing fingers to Darius Dillon saying, no, if Dillon has taken $30,000, In addition to the $30,000, we are told that $45,000 is given to lawmakers for vehicles. And somebody was arguing in a vehicle. I was riding a taxi yesterday, and somebody said, I just decided to ride a taxi. And the guy said, there was an argument in the taxi. And the guy said, oh, President, we are giving money to the lawmakers, so $30K and $45K. And as I said, then I got reminded of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. When she went to the General Assembly, Ellen said to the Liberian people and the American people, I didn't give it to them, or they took it by themselves. Ellen said, I never gave it to the lawmakers took it by themselves. So how can we say it's the government or president? We had a sort of 30,000 or 45,000 for vehicles and a constituency engagement. Even Ellen did not have control over that. When the finance minister appropriates a budget and sends it to the lawmakers, they are the ones that set the thresholds. They will say this one for this purpose, that one for that purpose. You can't say it's president. We are no. There are 3 equal branches of government with equal functions. They coordinate very well. Borrowing from the words of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I did not give it to them. They took it by themselves. Welcome to the Bumper Show on EFBC Radio. My name is Jallah Emmanuel Nikki Kalifagala Kiang Malakbu. And Yale want to go Jallah Grayfield. Kalifagala means snake can laugh. Have you seen a snake laugh before? When it laughs and it's about to bite. Kiang Malakbu. It is a dry paper cane that is very hard to carry. A small boy can carry, only a mature human being can carry. You either chose to put it in a bag and hold it with your hand, but you can put it on your head. Whether it's a dry season time or rainy season time, it's difficult to carry. Kiang Malakbu. I come in yale one to cow. There's a palm see on the head of the cat. Only the stupid rat can play around it. Zobo woman. I'm the son of a chief, a warrior for Zewadama town. Welcome to the show. Let me pause right here and welcome my sister Amelia Zoa, who will pray for us in the Gwi vernacular. Usually it is a format here. Every day when Jallah Grayfield is on this radio, we invite the presence of God in our midst, and she will pray for our minute. We invite the presence of God and pray for the president, pray for all government officials, pray for Liberians. Amelia, welcome to the Bumper Show.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin.
Check your mic. Okay, you're live now.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Hello, Ba. I crepa ne pombo mona rejerie mon doka ede atekuko. Demunchi ani an doka ngoko ntie because mon nyunde mon bere de nyu de senyu. De nyu loka senyu bere de anyu. Echi ani la bida kona na pore kwai. Nyu na jwa na ni ablu akon ablu ba iro jwa jowia. Ani apo ablu ba de kwa. Ke ane kan je jwa Jallah Grayfield jwa abona janyo ti sene atu obodokun e ane kan je na report sene e aso be nanio echi e ani ebi egbo kan na o nyo sene ona komla kun anyu e ati ere nkwa e pomo ndo kari ati egbo ni de senyu mo bere nyu e report echi ani atu mani bere nyu e de si an mo a nyu e pomo ni agboyo echi e de si amo e ma ati ere nkwa e ani nyu atu ande they are waiting as a cripple you.
Amen. I'm a give up more. So you say give up more. What it means? Give up, thank you. Oh, thank you, God. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give up more. Thank you, God. Thank you, our Heavenly Father. The man coming, Nagala, the man coming. This is a signature tune that brings the Bumper Show to your doorsteps, wherever you are with the nation's heavenly day. And my name is Jallah Grayfield. Remember Jallah Grayfield, chapter 1, verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk, and never shall we fight. Fighting shall never be our portion.
country. I love my country. I love my people. Father, save us from the
Oh yes, Father, save us from the pandemic. And indeed, Father, you save us from COVID-19. Prince Moika Yengao Nanga. Papa Gwe Falu. As a walk Yengao Nanga. As a walk Yenga. Oh my, how you doing, man? And then we're going to Bon County the other day. I saw the superintendent line on the street with other women of Banga Bon County. And it said, Friends of Nathan Mangel. Mama Bridge Mensakayengao. That's a song that was sung by the man called PCK. It is called Protect Our Leaders. In short, there's no man is praying for the protection of our country upon our President, His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. George Oponmanek Bagube Sekozi. Fucking crunch that pometano tapewia. It means they are your children. You cannot feel them, Papa God. Where's my friend? Where's the lady who follows the bumper shoko Arin Joko and Bobo? Oh yes, welcome to the show. It is on ERBC Radio and other frequencies across Liberia. I said to you, this is a bumper show. And many of you have joined us. Thanks to my videographic producer, Yasa Suba, who always sits here and makes us to be known across the world. And so this is a bumper show. I said to you, I want to go to my Facebook page later and read some of the comments that came. Then I would delve into how do I call it? Into issues that we'll be discussing this day. It promises to be very fantastic. And I said I'll do a monologue on some of the issues that have been trending around Liberia. Let me go to LNTV. If you are listening, just share the video. Facebook, we have no copyright to these songs being played. It is not our making, it's yours. So please don't mute our videos because we are not the proponent of these songs. Welcome, let me say welcome to you. Those of you who have joined us on this live Facebook feed. My computer is updating. It finishes. If it finishes, then I will come and then we go through the conversation and acknowledge some of you guys who have joined us. Let me see if I can get it from my phone. Jerome Cheye say hi, Jallah. Hilton Wilejero, the proper defender, says, Good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you from the Choir Street Intellectual Center for Development in Looking Town. Johnson Nipola, watching from Accra, Ghana. Oh, Johnson Nipola, you're in Accra. I was so fascinated by the respect accorded us when we went to Lofa. Abraham Gossaway and I, the way you treated us as big brothers in the media, we were so glad and we hope that that you guys will do this thing again. We'll come back in Lofa. Let me see. This thing is having some problem. But let me go. I will read a few of the things. I will come in to mesmerize you. With a few of the things I've been looking at. I think it's okay now. Something W. Robertson. Good afternoon, Mr. Jallah Grayfield. Thank you so much for the broadcast. I'm watching live on Harper City, Maryland County. Mr. Grayfield, invite one of our lawmakers on the state radio. Oh, this is rising and falling. And I hope Miss Suba will come and just place me on the regular. So let me get past the phone whilst I'll do some monologue. You just take care of this. All right, so, let me start with Ganta first, Nima County. On Saturday, we left Monrovia. The LBS team in a 4-car convoy. We entered Banga. And I saw women, children, men, the elderly all lined up the street. From the police station, awaiting President George Weah's arrival. Amongst them was the superintendent of Bon County as a worker. It was a gargantuan welcome of the president while he was going to Nimba. The president stopped, along with the minister of state and others. They greeted the people, and they were more enthusiastic. It was not about giving them money or giving them millions, but the fact that a God-given president is visiting them, they were so elated. I saw that welcome in Banga. And let me say thanks to the superintendent of the county, Madam Esther Walker, and her people for that heroic welcome of the president and his delegation. We went to Nima. It was a successful cabinet retreat. I will not tell you what happened there, but the government, what we had a good time. I mean, good time in terms of deliberation. You know, every sector representing here, talking about how they have developed, what they have achieved, as well as it. But the president gave a mandate. He said, no, we are not a mandate, but he just gave a caveat. We're going to 2023. All hands must be on deck. And our hands are on deck here at LBS, Mr. President. But you know what got me elated? The Minister of Information, if it behooves the minister, to come and say what happened there. I'm not a Minister of Information. I'm not government spokesman. Until I'm designated to speak as maybe a junior government spokesman, I can do. But why my mentor, my big brother Letewu Julius Simone Rennie is here, I have not been called with authority to speak. I cannot do so. But I will speak on a sad attraction in Nima. On the day the conference and the retreat ended, we decided to go to Sanakoli and see our substations in that area in Nima County. We went to River Sanquin. We met the guys there. Our relay equipment they were all down. Mr. Tipenny Young repaired them. We now live in Sanquin, on River Sanquin in Nima County. They were all saying, hey, what happened to the place as well? But we went there, we had it done. But what elated me most was the way the people of Nima received the president. When I spoke with Smith today, he said, we are going to Ban. From Ban, we'll go to other places. Some of the names are very difficult for me. No manner of names, I can't pronounce it very well. But the president vehicle went into the mouth. They went all around Nimba. You saw children, young children, between the ages of 5 to 6, 7, 8 years. And the president took pictures of them. From there, when you saw adults and women and girls and boys, some of them are of the voting age now. The first-time voters, they were there. And the president was happy with what he saw. It was not a county tour, but the people of Nima requested that the president visit them in all the nooks and crannies of the county. He did. He did not reach all parts of Nima, because Nima is a big county. But he went to the strategic areas where they were represented by their chiefs and elders. Thanks to the Minister of Internal Affairs, Vanish Salif, who was on the right hand side of the president. As the president disembarked his vehicle, he's the one introducing this people to the president, and there was drumming and singing, merry-making people, merry-making, giving kola nuts to the president. And there's a saying, he who brings kola brings life. It was a sound of acceptance by Nima. And I'm told Nima has accepted President George U.S. second term bid, just as Grand Leader has done. One of the areas that people think would not be a place to be for the CDC will be in Lofa County. But Lofa has fallen to the CDC as evident of what we saw in Lofa. I was there in Foya District with Thomas Fowler, my man Abraham Gossaway, and others were there. We saw what happened. The margin of 500 votes had not existed before in Lofa. Every time a United Party candidate won, there was about 3,000 votes beyond or above. But this time around, the candidate of the CDC was defeated with just 500 votes. Even though he won Lofa County, but again, the candidate of the United Party and opposition leader, Joseph Walker, they only have 5,500 votes, while the CDC supported candidate have 5,000. It means that uncle and everything has broken in Lofa County. It doesn't hold water any longer. And Thomas Fowler said you're going to go back further to ensure that the people of Lofa, he will carry the senator back to them. And I hope to be part of that history and make it again. I'm just saying to you how history changes over the year. Honorable Dr. Bovachi must always quote normal cuisine as saying history is an early warning alarm system. When it comes to your door today, you think it is all over. But if something comes over again, then the other person tells you, you say, hey, it was my turn yesterday. But the history has been repeated today. But in Lofa, I'm told by Thomas Fowler and the rest of the Lofa citizens that it will be sustained. It will be sustained. That's what they say to me. But again, Nima people will say, thank you. You receive our president. You know, the president will just beam with smiles. He was beaming with smiles. And Bagugbe could not hold back his emotion. He thanked the people of Nima for accepting him. And one thing he did, I listened to our correspondent, I was not part of that, was that a plea from the people of Nimba that they needed their police or joint security to be mobile. The president donated a new brand pickle to them as part of their fiduciary role in providing security for the people of Nimba. That was good on your part, Mr. President. Let me appreciate you for that. Let me welcome some of you guys who joined us already. Sorry for that. One of my eyes. It's not too. I want to say eyes. One of my glasses. One side. Hello, Jallah. I'm following you from Matadi. Thank you, Little Bird S. Holder. And I'm told, I'm dedicating this program today to this old man called Mr. Henry Pearson. Henry Pearson, you are my valued listener of the day. Henry Pearson is the head of the National Security Agency. He celebrates his birthday tomorrow. Henry Pearson, this show is dedicated to you. And I'm also told my big sister, Ola Bago Fadigo, is celebrating birthday today. Ola is in a better church now, Harvard International right now. So Ola is a big sister. She calls SG. Ola, happy birthday to you. And also Ome Emmanuel Gadi. I'm told today is her birthday. Emmanuel Gadi lives around the police academy area. And I'm told your daughter, Mali Gadi, is not well. Sorry to that. But again, this program is dedicated to old man Henry Pearson of the NSA. You are the director. Let me move forward. And then let me welcome some of you guys again. Bwakatiem Tundo, watching live from Boston, USA. Thanks. The nation's MDJ is Bwakat PM Tamindo. Lincoln Wisa, I'm watching you from Sano County, Jokot Kane, Plebo District. Samian Togawia. Keep all the good work. I'm watching you live from Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. Sheikh Hassan. Good evening, Jallah. I'm watching you from a sick bed in Tingles Village, Painesville. Bill Seth Betty Mentor. Good afternoon, Mr. Jallah Grayfield. I'm Bill Mentor Jr. following live from the UAE this afternoon. If that's political couple pass away, tonight's show will be interesting. The class reloaded. Follow us on Bourgeois Island. Oh, yes, that's it. My brother, that's politics. Everybody has a side. Here to let you know, I read your comment earlier. So I will come back to read your comments, but again, please share the video when you see them. Let me move into something. I have been listening to comments coming from Liberians about the east of the 30K. When I first saw the 30K thing, I was in Nimba. And while you are there, it is a local radio station. I read ERBC, I read the other stations, like OKFM, other places. But then I was not privy to listen to the radio station and know what was happening in Monrovia. Then my special assistant, Mr. David Goloko, we said, posted on his page, 30K again. So I took interest to read what was happening. Can you please? And so I was interested in knowing what was happening. When I read on social media, that the lawmakers again have appropriated $30,000 in the budget for themselves in the face of daunting challenges facing their people. And amongst them, one of them amongst the lawmakers is a man who claimed to be the light of Monserrado called Abraham Darazilla. When he was campaigning on the matter of change in Monserrado, Abraham Darazilla told Liberians that he would not take any salary above 5,000. And that anyone that follows that 5,000 will be carried in an escrow account that will be managed by Monserrado County, and then it will go towards development projects in the county. But since 2 years since he took over, I'm yet to find out whether that money is being managed or where is the money going, how are they managing in terms of projects and programs. The same time it came a time during the COVID-19 was very serious. Darrell Dillon, who said you not take $5,000, took $30,000. It was I think Prince Mwe who announced to the Liberian people, or it was Nukwe who announced to Liberian people that he took $30,000 for constituency visit, and then that was why he going to carry the people for them to have time to have for projects. That also took the money for him. He ain't talking. He had the money. He said, "No, I'm talking it." But Prince Senator Nukwe came. He talk about it. He talk about it. He said, "I got it." The day he talk about it, then he say, "I come on the money." But this is the man who said he will not take less. He will not take more than $5,000. But you are brave to take $30,000, and he did not disclose it to the Liberian people, which in my mind did not speak well of him when it comes to his advocacy for change and transparency. Oh yes. So when you are pressured and pressured and pressured, many of you can remember. I always say this thing. Normal cousin says this, and he came out. He says, even though I told him money, I will take a bar COVID-19 material for the people of Monserrado County. That was the long call a purported press conference. He stage managed the press conference, and he already told the people what to do. I'll get the money to here, 15,000, go to here, 15,000 with the other one. You are taking the bar COVID-19 material for the people. But they know what they want to do with the money already. So he called a press conference in that meeting, saying he gave the money to the people to be managed about COVID-19 material. I live in Monserrado. I live in Johnsonville. There's no time in Johnsonville coming from Western area there, going as far as Keba area there, where one bucket was donated to the people of Monserrado in that area from Darrell Dillon team say it is from the $30,000 he took from the government of Liberia under the name of constituency visitation. There's not one. Apparently, he gave the money to the people. He went behind and he took it from them and said, "Laudel Shiri." They said that was in America or Jamaica. During the COVID-19 period, when it was so hard, people were dying here. The guy in airplane, they went to America, they were there merrymaking. When he said they're drinking champagne, they dancing, they singing and merrymaking. Why the people who voted you here were here dying? You were there in America enjoying yourselves. They have to be criticized by Liberians. Before the government they came to Liberia. When they came out of Liberia, they said, before then, they said they were putting together containers of medicine for COVID fight. But since Darrell Dillon and Nyombe came to this country, I stand to be corrected. Those materials they said they were soliciting for the Liberian people, they were putting in containers of Liberia. They never came up to this time. If anyone has a trace of those materials, that's why I say I stand to be corrected. If they came, let me know where they landed at a Freeport. What was the bill of landing? What was the bill of a disembarkation whatsoever? Let me know them. Then I will come and say they brought it. There was no one material brought by Darrell Dillon and his normally Kanga here. You saw them how they appeared. They were in a fiesta move. They were merrymaking and singing and dancing in America while the people of Liberia were dying here with in COVID and with poverty. But these are the people you call the light. They promise you that they will build bridges where there are no waters. Oh yeah, they will build a heaven where there's no Jesus Christ. How can there be a heaven where there's no Jesus Christ? But yet he promised the people, I will build bridges, but there's no water. There'll be no water. But these are the guys who came to you on a matter of change and they brought a fake policy to you, you accepted them. But this is the irony of what I'm talking about with Darrell Dillon issue. So Akara's Gray comes and says Darrell Dillon took the 30,000. They don't say, no, I'm not about you take 30,000. The day I say I took 30,000, I'm gonna resign that very day. If it is found out that I took it, I will resign. Akara's Gray did not stop there. Akara's Gray went to the budget. He underlined some things in the budget on the yellow line and said, this is a budget attempt. That the 30,000 we're talking about, it is under the budget. Each lawmaker will get 30,000 as part of that constituency visitation. Akara's Gray underlined it. If you read the budget, you got to know that the $30,000 they're talking about, it is actually in the budget. I took my time to read that portion of the budget about some Akaras, and I made some, interventions. I read the budget on that side, and I got to know the $30,000, it is actually in the budget. So if Dylan is saying that he didn't take the money, how did he sign the budget to when the budget came to them, how did it pass to be an instrument to be used when he did not see those figures that were $30,000 for constituency visitation? Are you telling me that Dylan was so dull at that point he did not read the document? Are you saying to me that Dylan did not read the budget before it was passed? Because I know that in earnest, it should be the opposition lawmakers who will put the ruling party feet on the fire, not the passage of budget with such an acronym, astronomical figure in it for them. But he said the budget was passed. Now others are receiving that money. He say, I didn't receive it, but in short, it is in the budget there. So if Dylan is saying he didn't take 30,000, it's the budget, can he instruct the people in the Senate to go and cancel that portion of his money and say, I didn't take it? Am I making sense here? So if Dylan says he didn't take physical cash and the money is in the budget on a line there that will be given to him later, can he come back on the media and say, even though I not received the money, it is in the budget, even though I didn't read the budget, I signed it, it was passed? Can that money be taken and given by the Liberian government and say, I don't want it? He has not done so. But he still keeps arguing and arguing that he's not part of that. I think this is insincerity to the largest extent. I have thought not to discuss Dylan ever on this radio or in all my comments. When it comes to politics, with the Liberty Party versus the Unity Party, the CPP has to discuss Dylan. Because Dylan is not as important to any discussion here on my platform than while I'm discussing our benefit of the Liberian people. But I will discuss things when it comes to insincerity, thievery of the Liberian people's money. Dylan, you have made history for yourself in this country. You have just rejected that 30,000 that came first. But you took it, you give it to your people, you say, we're going to go this one, but they didn't do it, you ate that money. 30,000 come again, one take it again. But yet you prefer to be the light on Capitol Hill. But you know what brought Dylan's back in this country? It was an idle lying. Dylan lied to the Liberian people. He couldn't apologize. He said he spoiled money. I don't want to discuss. I will come to what he said about Liberian people who he even insulted the mothers of citizens who are supporting George Weah. For me, I come from a modest background, for a very decent mother. I can't insult one mother. One thing my mom said to me when I was growing up, I will say this in the video. My mom always told me, say, that only stupid child, man call can leave on. One day, my friend and I were wrestling, and he started beating me. When you're beating me, then we start fighting, and he calls my mom. Then I ran to my mom, I landed on my mom. Mama, you see me causing my mom. My mom grabbed me. The way she beat me that day. She beat me. I said, as she said, you know what I beat you for? I said, no. She said, when somebody calls him, calls her mama. In other words, she's saying to me, an eye for an eye. Only a stupid child man calls can leave on. From that day onward, I can't, when somebody calls my mom, I can't leave on me, I'll call you back. But when you grow up at some stages, you don't do so. So that thing my mom said to me, way back, I left it way back. Say I grew up to see myself as a man after 18 years old. That time I'm talking about around 6, 7 years old. So after 18, I became a man. I've not done so. So Dylan came after he lied that he didn't bribe a business class. He came and said, after from British Africa, Dudu, my friend and young brother called Landed Dudu, came and said, Dylan lied. He rode a first class airplane. He came to call president and say, I lied to you, I lied to you, I made my machine. Your man and my friend Oliver Dylan, man. I can say, I respect the woman. I don't say anything. The thing he said to us who are supporting George Weah, he insulted our mothers. I got to record our play tomorrow. This man called Dylan insulted the mothers of people who support George Weah. That includes all of us in government. You, the guys who listen to me right now, Dylan insulted your mothers. I don't want to go to these two realities. But I will tell you, maybe I'll not hear play, I'll just say it, but I will play tomorrow, you'll listen to what he said. So if Dylan can lie on small thing like plane ticket, That the money he get, Dylan makes about $4,000, $5,000 every month. So to take 1,000 area, I mean, I think I can pay 1,000 area to go back to maybe to America and come back, or to go to the Middle East and come back. 1,000 enough to the money, right? But Dylan are making more than 5,000, $6,000. He go last in right business class, but you weren't gonna make class. When the final he lied, it tells you how terrible this man called Dylan is. When he sat down and says, Joey against and XYZ, but he's a more like a I don't want to classify him as he classified George Weah. Because if you classify George Weah and the followers against us, then you are more gangster than the who you refer to. You go to Lofa to go campaign for a candidate, you didn't go to a message of unity, you went to a message of disunity. And started calling people that follow George Weah as gangsters. That includes me, Jallah Grayfield. It was a very perpetual situation, Mr. Dillon. You must account and tell us this money, 30,000 a year is being given to you people. Whether you took it or not, Dillon, you have to come back and clarify. Because Akaro's grace is constantly putting your feet to the fire. Dillon, you must come up clear and say, like, this money that is appropriate in the budget, I will not take it because I promise the Liberian people I will not take that money, I will not take it. Don't take it, Dillon. And you must account for the 5,000 if you're taking for the month. You know you're taking 5,000 for the salary, right? And then again, it's only around 9,000 every month. So if you took 5,000 from your salary, this should be 3,000 for the last 1 year plus being power. So you must come with a report to the Liberian people, especially we who are residents of Monserrado, to tell us what you have done with that money. You must come and tell us. But one of the things that broke my heart, when I returned from Ghana listening to radio, was an insult coming from this Jallah Grayfield man. But a child who said he can't sleep, or a mother will not sleep, he himself will not sleep. Because you will have a sleepless night, just as other children, or just as his mother will have. Dillon is on other social media also. He's insulting us. He's insulting our mothers. He's insulting our mothers. But these are the people who are parading here that they want to make Joseph Boakai president here. That they get respect for our mother now. Our woman are waiting for you in Kolahun, in Samuel District, in Bento, in Plibo. Dillon and the people don't have respect for you people who are mothers of this land. He insults you. Because one way or the other, your children are supporters of George Weah. If not all your children, one of your children will be supporters of George Weah. You can't say, I say Joanne. Those of us who support George Weah, the guy called Joanne. He said, those who Joanne people who don't respect that 9-month pin, that mother 9-month pin. That's why he said that. I'm quoting him. I might not be quoting verbatim when I play that video or that recording tomorrow. You will hear it. He was saying the people who support George Weah, who are Joanne and seditious, who don't respect that mother's 9-month pin, are the ones I've been asking about what he do with his salary. He said, my salary for me, I can go to anybody I want to give it to. Now someone going to ask me for that kind of question. Dillon is on record saying that. I listened to it on one radio station this morning while driving to work this morning. And I broke down that a man who wants to provide leadership is a man who is saying this to Liberians who supports another person. But this was the Dillon you voted for. There are people who are supporting George Weah today, who also supported you yesterday, because they didn't let the candidate of the CDC, Thomas Fala, they voted for you. These are the people you are insulting today. These are the people this man is insulting today. Seditians and Joanne who didn't respect their 9-month pin born by the mothers. He's not just talking to me, Jallah Grayfield, who is also a supporter of George Weah. He's insulting my mother, he's insulting your mother, he's insulting your mother or somewhere else. But these are the gangs, some of the gangs that are also behind Joseph Boakai. These are some of the gangs that are behind Joseph Boakai. He took them and carried them to Nimak, to Lofa County. Did not hear you go by insulting the elders of Lofa? Well, Dow Dillon comes and call people gangsters. But he has shown his gangsterism to the higher extent, to the point that he's going on national radio insulting people, calling their mothers that they didn't have patient, they didn't have Patrick Soa. Just hold on, you're calling the show. I know Patrick, you want to make a call. I also be the line, Patrick. So he said that nobody has respect for their mother. We don't have respect for our mothers. That's why they don't listen to us. Delon insulted to the extent that he doesn't have control. He said his money he makes is for him and his family. He chooses who he want to give it to. Is this a Delon that was clamoring around here begging people for their votes? I don't blame Delon, I blame us the Liberian people. They come under the guise of being transparent and the best people. They have hidden treasures under their arms. They portray themselves as people who have gold and diamonds hidden somewhere, that when they become president or become senators, they will give you all the best and make you live in the Sima heaven, governed by the goddess of the angels. But yet nothing they have to give you. But Delon has 9 years job, he doesn't care. That a Guba, we can criticize Delon Fernando tomorrow. He ain't care. Before Delon leaves the Senate, he now get all the illegal money. And he came and said, you'll be a constant disruptor. Is he disrupting constantly? No. He has bathed in the corrupt nature of what he said he's going to go against. That's why he's taking $30,000 for constituency visitation. That is why he's going to ride a $45,000 vehicle again. I would have thought by now Delon will be riding a Pathfinder that costs $9,000 to $10,000. Or you ride a vehicle that costs almost $50,000. When they ask him, say, oh, the vehicle was procured before I came to the legislature, it was Jallah Grayfield vehicle. Yeah. He said that every time. But this is a Delon who rides a very vehicle, comfortable. And another vehicle is being purchased for all the lawmakers. And he'll be getting $45,000 in addition. So I also wish that he would reject that $45,000. I want the money, let the money stay there. Let the $30,000 stay there. Then you survive on a nickel resources at $5,000 and see what you survive on. My people, these are the individuals who want to be senators. They are parading one old man who is almost 80 years old, he want to be president, that can be decision independently here. Yes. But let me say one thing to you. You will ride and ride and ride. Your sword of this destruction cannot bring down Joshua. What I've seen in this country, Joshua remains a popular president. He remains a popular person. It takes a man to bring him down. In your combination, I know you guys are disintegrated. You have torn yourself apart. The first thing is that you just fought against Cummins. You saw what happened. You could not provide leadership in the CPP. You allow my omen Ben Nayue to take Cummins to court. You are being prosecuted. If you have been a man of sober mind and have a level-headed decision, you have asked my omen and say, Mr. You are not fair, but not to the men of court. When you tell the men of court, it was for the CPP. But you allow better than my big brother, my big brother, my big brother, my employer before, and so I respect you. I say, call him my chief. To take that man to court. That was a destruction you led the CPP in. When you're fighting here, say, oh, the post say I can go with the CPP ticket, I can run independent. But those are the documents you sign say, if whenever leaves the CPP, you can't run on your party ticket. You gotta go to the Supreme Court to go fight it. Shame. I will talk about power after tomorrow, but I will open the line for you, Liberians, to talk. Let me see who all are watching us. My WhatsApp number is on. Father, so while you're trying to call me, the lines will be open very shortly on 080-514-096. 080-514-096. You will talk, and I always say we'll talk and talk and talk. We'll not fight. Fighting shall not be our portion. Let me see. I know many of the guys have joined us, and I know you want to know who all here. I will share. Please share the video. I will share them very shortly, but don't call my number now. I will call one number for you to participate on. The line is ringing already. Let me take this caller from you. Hello, welcome. You live on the bumper show. Let's hear you. Your name is what? Your line low, brother. Let's say your line low. I will try to manage it. Let's go ahead. Hmm. So let me pause it right there, right? Let me pause it right there. What do you mean by you supporters of Joshua? Who in particular this or you want to talk? You want to talk about that? But I'm a supporter of the CDC because I'm a government official appointed by the president. I don't miss my tongue on that. I didn't know about that. I'm talking about what people know. So that's an insinuation. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you, my friend. Please, my technician, please come. This phone is low. Please get one of the technicians to come in and have this phone resuscitated, please. Let's hear you. Now, okay, let's hear you, brother. Okay.